World Trade Center. The building was hit by something. I don't know if I'm going to get out, but I love you very much. I hope I'll see you later. Bye.
From his words, I knew that Ken survived the impact of the plane. So I tried to call him back, but there was no answer. I fell to my knees in a panic, still clutching the telephone. I watched the TV in utter horror as black smoke billowed out from the building through a gaping hole the size of an airplane. I knew that Kenny was in that building. I watched as the people ran from the World Trade Center, hoping for a glimpse of my husband. Then the second tower was hit. Our lives were forever changed. My children would never again see their father, and I was now a widow. The grieving was just beginning. For me, one horribly sad question had been answered, but many more questions would soon follow.
We could see New York City and the smoke from the fires. Our prayers and thoughts go out to all the people there and everywhere else. Here I'm looking up and down the East Coast to see if I can see anything else.
Well, it's an absolute scene of pandemonium here. I'm across the street from the Pentagon.
Live coverage of the explosions at the World Trade Center.
This is believed to be the largest terrorist attack in history.
It has been a state of chaos all morning.
The news media are not being told where Air Force One will head next.
The Pentagon is now being evacuated.
Airports all across the country are not allowing planes to take off.
Congressional leaders have been transferred to a secret location.
There was a collapse.
A section of the World Trade Center has collapsed onto the street below.
Nobody knows how many casualties.
We are not exactly sure at the moment of the whereabouts of the Secretary of Defense.
Flights headed for the United States are being sent to Canada.
Some senators have described this as a second Pearl Harbor.
We are told there are casualties at the Pentagon.
This has got to have been planned for at least a year.
It really is a day of infamy.
And all of a sudden, it is midnight in downtown Manhattan.
Smoke continues to billow out of lower Manhattan.
I can't see that second tower.
We heard the building coming down, and that's what we were running from.
Both of them simply imploding in on themselves.
Just seconds ago, there was a huge explosion, and it appears right now the second World Trade Tower has just collapsed.
The terrorist wins when he or she manages to alter the behavior of a people or infringes on the way of life in a country, that the country, a democratic country particularly, alters its way of life. It raises the whole question of civil liberties and access and freedom of movement.
Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice.
The President assured us that he would bring those responsible to justice. We were told they hated us because America is a beacon of freedom and opportunity to the world. The U.S. government told us that Muslim fanatics took America by surprise and that this justified the war in Afghanistan, Iraq, the Patriot Act, and an unending war on terror. That to defend our freedom and protect us from this new threat, we must sacrifice the civil liberties for which we were attacked and abandon the protections provided us by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. What happens if the foundation these policies were built on begins to collapse?
Somebody very wise once said that a fact is the point at which we have agreed to allow the investigation to stop. Our investigation will stop at some point soon. That doesn't mean that we will have discovered all of the facts, but we'll do our level best to conclude the investigative part of this and to report to the American people what we have found.
I really think it's a shame that the family members can't just grieve for the loss of their loved ones, that they have to fight every day the government.
You think with such a major catastrophic event, we'd be a little bit closer to the truth, and we're still not. And what's even worse is the more we ask the hard questions, the more we're attacked.
There's enough reason to think that there is a very good chance that there was prior complicity in this, in the sense of opening the door in the way of a Reichstag fire.
9/11 has been used as a justification for foreign and domestic policies that in many cases the public as a whole has not called for, doesn't agree with.
The American people have proved to be amazingly tolerant. They have not gotten terribly upset about the fact that they were deliberately lied to go to war in Iraq. They are tolerant of a number of other horrible things that they have learned about. There is one thing they will not tolerate. If the truth about 9/11 is revealed, it will reveal the values on which this American global domination project is built.
As monstrous as the forces appear to be ranged against us, everything is subject to change, and the change issues out of us.
This is serious. There's some very important questions here that are unanswered.
Years after 9/11 witnessed a clash of theories about the attacks. As more people became skeptical, the battle of perspectives headed for an open showdown.
What's your point today? What do you want to accomplish today?
My point is,
I wanted you to go down there and look for your family members.
9/11 isn't true.
It
wasn't.
This isn't true right here.
No, it's
just a mirage. Tell me that's fake.
Why?
Tell me that's
Why
fake.
it happened and who was responsible?
Okay.
The U.S. government.
It's not about blame America first.
The U.S. government. The 9/11 was the U.S.'s Reichstag fire.
Oh crap! I'm going to go and watch your words. Keep speaking, but you better tell the truth. And all you're doing is bringing crap against America. What do you think we're doing right as a nation? Because obviously the CIA is
Here's
corrupt.
the thing.
Bush is corrupt.
Here's the thing.
Everything's
Our
corrupt.
definition
That's
of
crap.
patriot is a little bit different. I believe.
What are we doing
I believe that we should be patriots. As opposed to, obviously, someone. I think we should be patriots, not blind nationalists.
Oh, come on.
Not blind nationalists.
We got
Thomas
20
Paine
vision. You got
said,
no vision.
Thomas Paine said, the true
Do you have anybody in
duty
Iraq?
of a
Do you
patriot
have anybody in Iraq?
is to
Half
defend.
of my baseball team is out there.
And I want to get every one of them back.
What do you mean by patriot?
The true duty of a patriot is to defend his country from its government.